Okay, I'm here with Ed Welburn, who's over all the designs for General Motors. Ed, you talked about earlier that at a young age you decided that you wanted to become a car designer.
Absolutely.
Okay, what intrigued you about becoming a car designer?
Well, it's the 1950s. I was crazy about cars. Crazy about it. I knew every car on the road. Honest to God, I've been drawing cars since I was 2.5.
2.5.
2.5.
So were you collecting model cars back then, or were they?
I drew cars.
Okay.
I built model cars. I had subscriptions to car magazines at age 10.
Okay.
And it was in reading these car magazines that I found out where all these great cars were designed. And then at age 11, I wrote them a letter.
Now, did mom or dad have a connection with cars, a car company?
My father owned a shop that repaired cars.
Okay.
An auto body repair shop.
Okay.
So cars were around me. All my uncles drove Cadillacs.
Okay.
And it was just cars were all around me. And I spent some time in the shops, but he didn't want me to get too close to that business. He said it was a dirty business, and he wanted me to do something more than that.
Okay. Now, how did you prepare yourself for becoming a car designer? I know you went to Howard University at the time.
When I found out the route, General Motors sent me, really mapped it out.
Okay.
They gave me a good idea of what the route is that I should take.
Okay.
And which led me to Howard University. Now, to get into Howard University, you had to have grade point average.
Exactly.
To get into the art department is more than your grades. He had to present a portfolio of the work that I was doing in high school.
Okay.
And between presenting that portfolio and my grade point average, I was fortunate enough to get into Howard University. The school knew that I wanted to be a car designer, so they did everything they could to support me in what I wanted to do.
Did you know any car designers? How did you know? So how did you know that you could become a car designer?
Reading car magazines.
Okay.
And in car magazines, I'd read about the cars, I'd read about design, and that was it.
So
there were no black car designers. There were none.
Okay.
And I just wanted to be a car designer. I didn't think about the fact that maybe there weren't any black car designers.
Well, now that you mentioned that, one thing that we didn't point out, you're really considered to be the father of car designs for the African American community. Have you been told that before?
No.
Okay. Well, has there been anybody else before you?
There was one guy at Ford.
Okay.
And he was there for several years and then left that company. But I was the first black designer at General Motors.
Okay.
And the first to be named an executive. And now, I talked a bit about the size of our organization. Well over 2,000 people. It's not only the largest design organization in the auto industry. There are no other design organizations of any other kind of product that's that large.
Okay.
Fashion industry, other areas of product design, whatever. It is the largest.
Did you have any idea when you went in as a car designer that you were going to be at some point over all the designs? What was your dream? What was your vision when you went into it?
My dream was to design cars for General Motors.
Okay.
That was my dream.
Okay.
My dream wasn't to be a chief designer of Cadillac or a chief designer of Buick. It was just to be a car. I wanted to design cars.
So what were some of your first vehicles that you designed that actually hit the road, and then once they hit the road, how did you feel about it?
Well, it's fascinating. The first thing I worked on, I designed, they always give the rookie a small job.
Okay.
So I designed a tail lamp on a Pontiac Bonneville. And I was so excited.
What year was that?
In the dealership. It would have been, I think, like 74.
Okay.
And my parents went to the dealership to see it when the car came out. But the first big project would have been a Buick Riviera.
Okay.
And then from there I moved to Oldsmobile, and I designed Cutlass Supremes for many years. And
so what year range was the Riviera and the Cutlass?
Riviera would have been around 78.
Okay.
79, I think it was. And it was an all-new Riviera at the time. And then Cutlass Supremes from over, about 15, 20-year period.
Okay.
I designed a high-speed research car that A.J. Foyt drove. He had top speed of close to 300 miles an hour.
Wow.
That was kind of the transition project from just being a designer who sketched to one who would sketch and also manage a program.
Okay.
And manage a project. So I designed that car. We set a number of world's records with it. I actually got a chance to drive it recently, and not at 300 miles an hour, but I drove it.
Which vehicle was this that you
It's
drove?
called Aerotech.
Okay.
A high-speed research car.
Okay. That's not the one that. No, that you drove a different one that I saw. What was that? Auto Line Detroit was that? Which one did you drive with them?
Was it a white one or a darker brown?
I know it was out. It was in your private studio. I know it's been quite a few.
Number of high-speed research cars.
We'll talk about that off camera. Now, as we talk about it, also, you in your high-profile position now. What are some of your most key pivotal moments in it? I know you had an opportunity to have a one-on-one with President Obama in your vehicle.
That was pretty amazing.
Can I ask you what the conversation was, or is there anything that you could share?
It was fascinating because I was taking him from car to car, showing him the designs.
And this is post-bankruptcy, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. This is just a year ago.
Okay.
And he opened the door to this one car. It was a red Chevy Malibu.
Okay.
And he hopped inside, so I ran around the other side to get in, just to explain some of the features. And he closed his door, and I closed mine. I'm not sure how the Secret Service, reacted to that. There I am with the President of the United States, and it's just the two of us in the car. And I told him how proud I was of the designers who designed this interior. And he turned to me, looked me in the eye, and he said, "We're proud of what you do."
Wow, how did it make you feel?
And it's just kind of, And then we talked about a number of different things. It's just the two of us.
Okay. I'm pretty sure you can't anything you can share beyond that. Okay, we'll stay away from that.
But it was just, it was amazing. I've had so many amazing experiences like that. I shared the presidential box with Colin Powell at the Kennedy Center once for an event. Colin Powell and I have crossed paths. We kind of do the cross paths again, but several times over the past few years. And it's always great to see him.
So it sounds like you had some phenomenal experiences. Now, seeing that you're a minority, African American, and when we look in the industry today, it's still not too many of us within the industry, particularly in the world of design. What are some of the things that you would recommend for young minorities, women who want to enter this field? What would you recommend? What would you share with them?
For someone who's interested in this field, going into design, you've got to prepare. You have got to prepare. That preparation begins in middle school.
Okay.
It's just like someone who wants to be an Olympic athlete. Do you think they start training when they're age 18?
Good point.
No, they've been training since a very young age. Somebody who wants to be a professional basketball player, football player, they don't start thinking about, I want to be a professional, athlete at age 18 or age 20.